This is a CalVista video presentation.
Do we have taglines?
All right, so due to this film's not exactly extensive ad campaign, we only have one tagline, and that is "Gobble gobble, motherfucker."
Wow, how creative.
End of list. That's the only tagline I could find. I've scoured the internet, hetero Jared, and I've only found one thing.
Well, where did I hear that before?
In the last movie.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that one scene. That
The only memorable scene of the movie, you mean?
the entire movie was memorable.
I know.
All right, well, that's all we have for this movie. So, with a budget of $112,000 and no found gross, with one pair of breasts, one ovary puppet, 23 puppets in total, one turkey sliced in half, one turkey turned into mush, one man completely dismembered, one vortex projected out of an asshole, 2 cartoons, 1 turkey chainsaw penis, 1 electrocution, 1 chainsaw in the mouth, 1 puppet dismemberment, 4 mutilated men, 1 Franken turkey, 1 8-bit fight sequence, 1 human, 7 puppet deaths, 1 robot death, and 9 deaths in total, with a 3.1 on IMDb and 33% on Rotten Tomatoes. It's 2012's Thankskilling 3. Let's drop some bombs!
Semper Fi, motherfucker!
He took my penis! He took my penis!
Ooh, my spider sense is tingling. If you know what I'm talking about.
This could be a tragic day for the people of New York. Could be the end of Spider-Man.
Thanksgiving just got fucked.
All right, I'm gonna start again from 3.1. We can just edit.
No,
that.
because this is now after the theme song.
Yeah.
All right, let's say let's drop some bombs.
No, you already
after
got that
that.
too. This is after that. This is, remember, the theme song comes in, and then it pipes back in with "Welcome to Bombs Away," the only podcast recorded inside a
All right,
projection
so
booth.
we're not adding "Let's drop some bombs."
You just
You've
did
already
it.
said it.
When did I say that?
You just
said
said
Walter.
it.
Right now. Let's drop some bombs.
What if I just kept all this in?
That'd be great. That'd be great.
All right. Okay. Welcome to Bombs Away, the only podcast recorded in a projection booth. As always, it is me, Long Jonathan, and my co-host,
Say your
Straight
real
Jared.
name.
Both of us,
Walter Thornburgh.
both names
I'm
not
Corey
right.
Casler. I think they're on to us. I am Walter Thornburgh, former guest host, and other former guest host, Corey Casler.
Hello.
Haha, how's it going, guys? We killed the regular team. They're fucking currently rotting under the Frida cinema.
In honor of Horror Thanksgiving, we have slaughtered both Jonathan and Jared via turkey basters and have taken over Bombs Away.
We have shoved them through the Pluckmaster 3000, and we are intending to eat them. So, are you ready to start on this fucking incredible, disgusting piece of shit movie?
About as ready as I was when I watched it, so no.
Oh, all right. Well, we can get down to eating our friends. So, what did you think of this movie? I thought it was great.
I thought it sucked.
Really? Well, get the fuck out of my recording studio. I'm gonna add you to the pile. You're fucking dead.
All right. Why don't you just do the podcast by yourself, Walter?
I will. This is.
Take it away.
I killed everyone else who has ever been involved in this podcast. Okay. Don't make me. You're
and
so
cruising back into the room via the broken Pluckmaster 3000, we have Jonathan and Jared. Guys, where did you even come from?
Hey!
Well, technically, I never
from the
died.
Featherlands? We came from the Featherlands?
Oh,
If you guys killed Jared,
That's
I'm
what it's
still
called.
fine.
They just came back from Turkey Hell.
You only killed straight Jared.
Oh.
Gay Jared's right
Hetero-
here.
hetero Jared
is fine. Jared, I don't know who he is. He's got a D at the end of his name.
Hey guys, we're back. Sorry. They killed us, but we're back.
And technically, we've always been rotting in the Frida cinema.
Oh my God,
Slowly but surely.
you're terrible. Okay.
Awesome.
84 episodes of rot.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't tuned out, our special guests today have decided to take over the show, and we're gonna let them. You guys are gonna lead this movie because Corey, you started this a year ago.
Yes, I recommended Thankskilling to you. I don't think you had heard of it at the time.
I had not. I definitely had not. And then this is the year of sequels. Like anything that we did a sequel to last year.
What?
I mean, anything we did the first movie to, thank you, last year is a sequel. So, but I so desperately hated this movie that I'm like, please, somebody else take the lead. Jesus, take the wheel. I can't do this.
So Jonathan brought me and Walter in to spend about 2 hours talking about this literal piece of garbage that was put onto a disc or digital download. And so that's exactly what we're going to do.
So I watched the first half. You watched the second half. Between us, we have a full movie, right?
Oh, is that what we should do?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
That's how you
That'd be
divvy it
great.
up. Unfortunately, I've seen
Another
this movie
idea we'll never do.
Unfortunately, I've seen this movie more times than I'd like to admit.
Yeah, I watched it a few times in preparation, and I hated it more and more with each passing viewing.
Here's the thing. I watched it for the first time when I was a lot younger because I had just watched Thankskilling in like 2012 when Thankskilling 3 came out, and I enjoyed it at the time. However, watching it again for this podcast, I was blown away at how bad it was.
Yeah. You were probably like freshly 18 when that movie first came out.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Whoa.
I hold it up to really appreciate it.
Halfway through the movie, I wrote something, and I wound up boosting it up to the top of my notes because I wanted to make sure this was really driven home. I wrote, every single scene, I just think to myself, can we move on from this one and maybe the next scene will be better? And that hope never gets fulfilled for me.
I completely understand that feeling. Especially, here's the thing. I felt that way for the entire movie because it started actually strong for me and it only got worse every single scene.
Yeah.
Got gradually worse.
I want the Thankskilling 2 space movie instead.
Yeah. Right. Well, that's a good transition into the intro because that's exactly how this movie starts.
Right.
The same way the first movie starts with a pair of tits right on screen. Mm-hmm. The only difference between the first movie and this movie is that these tits are in an astronaut suit in space.
An astronaut suit that the only thing that is exposed to the elements is the breast.
Right, correct.
Here's the thing. Like, I didn't even know that this movie had a sequel until I listened to the podcast last year.
Well, it's got 2 sequels.
But one was very badly burned beyond recognition.
Yeah, and when I found out the premise, I was like, I have to fucking watch this. This sounds amazing. Cause
it does seem like that, right? Like, it seems like it's going to break the fourth wall. It's very meta.
Yeah.
Like, and something that already did the first time break the fourth wall and many times. You're like, oh, it's making fun of itself now. This is going to be really fun and funny. This never happens.
Yeah, for the audience, the premise, or what should have been supposedly the premise of this movie, was that there was a sequel to Thankskilling called Thankskilling 2, and it was so bad that nearly every copy in existence was destroyed. And Turkey is on the hunt for the last existing copy of Thankskilling 2, and that's why it's Thankskilling 3. I love that concept. That's so good. But they didn't go anywhere with it.
That's about the most original that it gets.
Yeah.
Right? In theory, this would be a great sequel, and yet, Jesus.
Well, because based off of that, I feel like the concept of it would be like he's just going around killing people trying to get to the DVD, but it just keeps flying away from him, essentially. Right. Mm-hmm. That's... it turns into a puppet movie, which they already had a puppet, but then it gets more puppets.
No, but this was like Sesame Street.
Yeah.
Like, there were more puppets than humans by a huge proportion.
There were 3 real people if you count the boobies at the start.
Yeah.
I don't know why I'm holding up 2.
In the totals that you ran down, there were 23 individual puppets that I could count. Like, basically puppet characters that were different than other puppet characters. Like, I didn't count like multiples of like skeleton turkeys or like the rats,
like the
right?
Rats,
Yeah. These were 23 individual character puppets. Like, and I feel like this movie somehow they had an entire human cast in the first film, right? And everybody was on board. And then I feel like when they handed out the script, people were like, I'm not doing this movie.
Yeah.
Right? And so they turned all characters into puppets or something
think,
like that.
I think the creators just had like a big fetish for puppets. They had a much bigger budget. The first movie was done on $3,500. And this one, I think they raised it on Kickstarter. It was like, $112,000.
If I raised money for and got this,
Can you ask
I'd be
your
so
money back?
upset.
That's exactly
This
what I
is
was
like
about-
Super Troopers 2.
I feel, they got their money and they were like, oh my god, we can make so many more puppets with this money.
Well, here's the thing. That's actually the first thing I noticed with this movie is right after the space sequence, which is intentionally made to look bad with the strings and the
Right.
stars and whatnot. The second
Captain
it goes
Pilot.
right,
Yeah.
He's just a giant pumpkin
my
pie.
the second it goes into the actual intro, you can immediately tell how much higher the budget is because of the camera quality, which is the only other thing they spent the money on.
Also, like, this opening sequence is, like, so detailed and, like, raises so many questions that don't really go anywhere, where you're like, I want to see this movie. I
Yeah.
want to see, like, because they're, like, torching, like, Thankskilling 2 DVD copies. They're torching, there's a 360 game of Thankskilling 2. I'm like, I want to play that, you know? This is way more of an interesting thing than what then the movie continues to roll on to for the rest of whatever the hell I just witnessed.
Was it the same writers? Did anyone actually bother?
I think so.
Because I didn't.
How wouldn't it be the same writers?
I didn't check. Yeah, who
else would volunteer and be like, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and...
The only
I'm
thing
gonna
I could
make a
imagine
sequel.
is like a director or a writer changed and was like, what if we did it like this? And everyone was like, okay. And then it got too deep into it and they were like, keep going, just keep going. We just got to finish.
Yeah, I mean, that's probably... Because it looks like there's 3 additional writers. So your writers for the first one, Jordan Downey, Bradley Schultz for additional dialogue, and then there's 3 more credits for like 3 other people. But like Jordan Downey alone is the director, right? And I know that he's attached to the Thankskilling 3 script, and pretty sure he's the director in that as well, which I'm looking up right now. Hold on. Jordan Downey, director and writer, and then Mike Will Downey, so probably his brother or something, or so like, yeah. I mean, Jordan's been there since the beginning. Yeah. Right?
Maybe he hit his head.
Yeah.
It was
I mean,
a rough
Jordan
4 years.
Jordan is the voice of Turkey as well.
Right, yes.
So, yeah. And Yomi.
Yeah,
Yomi.
Oh, he's the voice of Yomi as well?
And Wise Turkey. That makes sense.
Yomi was more surprising, yeah.
Yeah. And Muff as well, it says.
Speaking of Muff, I believe that's the first scene after the intro.
Yeah.
I believe it opens up,
Yeah.
they're torching all of the copies, you get the title screen, Thankskilling 3, it burns away, and then we are in the middle of the desert, probably in California, and you see a squid robot, whatever the hell that was.
It's like Call of
Cthulhu, yeah.
Thank you,
Call of
Cthulhu. But if it had like no eyes and was a robot, I guess, kind of robot.
Love the design.
I love Muff.
Muff is a really cool design, but too bad it was in a terrible movie. But they just show Muff and Rhonda the Worm. And
the Worm.
And I had no idea what was going on. I watched that movie twice before we did the podcast, and I still don't understand their opening scene.
Rhonda the Worm is straight out of South Park.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
absolutely.
Straight out of South Park. Like, that's another thing I wrote in my notes is like, this movie feels like one long, drawn out Tim and Eric sketch.
Yep.
Well, someone online was
Yeah.
saying it was like bad Wonder Chosen, which I was like, that's already hard to do. Like Wonder Chosen's already like,
Yeah.
I don't know if I missed a notice about how to watch that, but I still never understood how to watch it.
Yeah, I get the Tim and Eric vibe though. Like it's very, but except for its feature length and.
Yeah, this is a movie like that feels like Adult Swim took a chance on at a 1 a.m. time slot.
Yeah, really does.
You know, they were just like, yeah, it's weird and out there, and somebody's gonna love it. You know, not me. But please, gentlemen, go on. It's your show.
Yeah.
So the movie opens up with Muff and Rhonda the Worm. They're strolling through the desert, and they are in search of the final copy of Thankskilling 2. There was...
May I, for 1 second, interject? I know it's
Please.
your show. I'm sorry. Can we, for those who may not have tuned in, which I think you should definitely tune in to last year's Thankskilling 1.
starring me.
Yes. Because it'll fully go over what that movie is. But for those who may have not, just a quick
30
rundown,
seconds or less.
of what Thankskilling 1
Sure. So
was.
I can give a great recap. I've seen it plenty of times. Thankskilling 1 is a movie about 5 high school kids. Is it 5? It's 5, yep.
They all have to fit in a Jeep Wrangler,
they're
so
college
it's 5.
kids.
They're college.
No, they're high school.
They're in college. They have a car. They're out of town. Nobody goes out of
Do you
town
want to
for
bet?
high school.
Do you want to bet?
I will bet. No, nobody goes out of town to high school
Jonathan,
to be like,
computer
I'm coming
boy,
back from
look
break.
it up.
Okay.
They are in high school, and their
Now I'm
mascot is
just
the Tritons.
I'm like the
Come at
intern.
me.
The mascot is the Tritons, but nobody goes to high school out of town and drives back home for the.
I
boarding
believe
school,
we were
but-
talking
A
about
homicidal turkey axes off college kids during Thanksgiving break.
Fuck you, Corey.
Here I am.
Me too.
Wait,
acting
did you
like-
think colleges can't have mascots?
No, I knew they could. Here's the
like,
thing.
wait.
I thought last year we talked about how they were high school kids and they looked way older than high school kids, but I guess I'm just delusional.
They still look like they're in their early 30s.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't look like college kids either.
Anyways, the movie consisted of 5 college kids, the stereotypical tropes of a jock, a slut, a virgin girl, the doofus, and a nerd, who go on a road trip to visit their families, which are further in the state or out of state. On the way, the car breaks down, and it breaks down in a city which used to be a Native American tribal ground, and they find out that in this tribal ground, they used to sacrifice turkeys, and they essentially brought a turkey back from the dead as a zombie turkey, which started killing all of the Native Americans, and he rises up once every 500 years on Thanksgiving to kill the white people who took Native American land.
White meat.
White meat, yeah, exactly. And so the movie continues on as this turkey hunts down the 5 people who were going through the woods.
Also, that's a very missed opportunity not to kill a black guy in that movie and do a
Nope.
dark meat joke.
Yeah, I don't think there was a black guy in that movie. Nope.
It was 2008. It hadn't been invented yet. Right. It was early film days.
So the movie consists of him chasing them down while they're trying to figure out how to defeat this turkey. They do a lot of research, find out that he has a talisman on him. They have to grab the talisman. They have to break the curse that keeps the turkey alive, and that's how they defeat him. In the end, everyone dies except for the one virgin girl. Surprise, surprise, never seen that before. However, after they think they defeat the turkey, she dies too, huh? She's making a turkey sandwich at the end, and then she dies, so every single one of them dies. The very end, her and the nerd are alive, and they go into the kitchen, he kills the nerd, and she's like, Darren, are you okay? Yeah, I'm making a turkey sandwich. And she goes into the kitchen, turkey kills her as well, and I believe that's where it ends.
Doesn't she roast him at the end?
Yeah, but at
She
the
does
end,
with a spray can and a lighter, but yeah,
No, but then
he comes back from that.
She kicks him into a flaming pyre, and the one turkey leg pops out, and she eats it.
Yeah, but then he
Right.
comes back at the end
as a ghost, right?
As a turkey, as a
He comes
roasted
back at
turkey.
the end as a
Oh,
roasted
yeah,
turkey,
yeah,
but he
yeah,
doesn't
yeah.
kill anybody. He just says, "Did anybody say sequel?" And that's the end. The virgin survived.
Both of your impressions are pretty good.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Maybe.
impression
No,
off.
the virgin
I
doesn't
just
survive.
watched this.
Are you, okay.
I just watched this last week.
I'll take. Hey, I was wrong about the high school thing, so I'll take your word for
There
it.
you go.
All right.
All right, so that's pretty good. What's funny, and I'm not going to ask you to do it because we're going to do it for as long as this takes, is that I guarantee could not sum up this sequel in
I don't
any
even-
way close to as accurate detail or without missing giant points. And I think even Walter couldn't really call you on the accuracy because this
I have
movie is
no
just
idea.
and then this happens, and then this happens, which is unrelated to anything.
I still don't know what the fuck happened.
I don't
Yeah.
understand. I'm intimidated by the prospect of trying to give any sort of synopsis of this film because I watched this movie twice in the last week, and I still the movie ended, and I'm like, what the fuck just happened? I feel like I just had a really it felt very dreamlike, where it seems like it's all one story, but it doesn't make any sense when you try and put the pieces together.
And that's kind
No.
of what worries me about doing this podcast, because in the first movie, I could take scene for scene and know what comes next.
Oh yeah, you
The
were
scenes-
quoting it, and if I got it wrong, you were just like, "Hey, look," and I'm like, "Hey, I've only
Yeah.
seen it once."
This
So-
movie jumps around from scenes so much that have nothing to do with one another that I have no idea what fucking scene comes after the next one.
Well,
It's a
I got
common
you.
problem.
Don't
You
worry.
got me.
Jonathan, the intern's got you.
My boy Jonathan on the intern computer has
Bam,
got
bam,
me.
bam, bam.
Well, fortunately,
You're so sexist.
fortunately, I do know that the movie does open up with Muff and Rhonda the Worm searching for the last DVD of Thankskilling 2, and they find out that they've all been destroyed because they find the pit that they were all burned in. So they say the turkey's not going to be happy about this, and I believe that's it with them. And then, correct me if I'm wrong because I do not know, I believe the next scene goes to Turkey?
Yeah,
No,
it goes.
I thought the next scene was like they do a little scene where they go, whenever there's a villain in a story, a hero rises, and they show.
With the really terrible Master Splinter impression.
Yeah.
Turtles.
See what I mean? I have no idea what order these things happen in.
So in the next scene, we're introduced to a yellow puppet named Yomi, who is apparently, I guess, the main character. I don't fucking know. And it says she lost her mind. It just shows her brain flying away from her.
And you never get any exposition following that about that.
They don't explain what losing your mind means. Her brain just flies away, but I guess that didn't really affect her because she's still...
That's not her brain, dude.
Her brain was
that's
her vagina.
That's her vagina,
yeah, her ovaries and fallopian tubes.
I am retarded.
As a puppet.
I believe you. So, anyway, I guess that's her mind.
I don't know organs. I'm not an organologist.
So, and then that cuts off, and we don't see her again for another, 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Because the next 20 minutes is, what also would have been a good movie.
The best part. Oh, my God.
Jarrett, this is my favorite part of the movie.
It's the good part of the movie.
Is this where it goes to Turkey?
Yeah, Turkey's household.
Oh, Turkey's...
This is my favorite scene in the movie, and I thought it was promising
It's
here.
like a sitcom.
When you're at the sitcom family situation, and Turkey is on the couch watching TV, and his wife walks in talking about how her friend is looking fat, and she's scared that she's going to get roasted next year. She walks in front of the TV, and Turkey's like, "Get the fuck out of the way!" It is my favorite scene in the movie.
But it's like what he's watching on TV is also like the laugh track for the situation.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's kind of good. That's creative.
That's
and then
hilarious.
there's a shitty puppet for his child.
Yeah, we're introduced to the actually important character of his child named Nibla.
Is it important?
Kinda.
Yeah, it's important.
Only what? Because it then becomes the
He's a
DVD?
plot point in the movie.
Yeah.
We'll get to that.
So his child's introduced, which I don't even know if you could consider it a puppet because it's more like a plastic doll.
Yeah, it's like
It
the
does not
rats. It's like
On a
felt on a
stick.
stick.
Yeah,
it's
felt
like
on
the
a stick.
turkey that you would buy as like a part of like a next to your name tag if you were doing place seatings at a Thanksgiving table. Yeah.
So he comes downstairs. They are Nibla and the mom are just shooting the shit, talking about whatever the hell
Grandma's
Turkey's talking
cake
about.
and-
Grandma's cake. And this is my favorite laugh in the entire movie. I was telling Walter about it beforehand when the mother turkey is talking about Grandma's cake, and she's like, "Do you want some, Nibla?" And he's like, "No, I'm not hungry." And she's like, "You're gonna eat Grandma's cake." "Okay, fine." And she starts vomiting all over this child, and it's going all over his body, but not in his mouth. And the character goes, "You're not even getting it in my mouth. You're just vomiting all over me." That was my favorite part of the whole movie, and I don't know why. I loved it.
My favorite is actually in the same scene is the Pluckmaster 3000 commercial.
Yes.
Which is like, can you not cook? Did you marry your wife not because she can cook, because she can fuck? Like, I was like, all right, okay. Like,
But that portion of the scene does set us up for a character that we get that you kind of don't really realize is going to be a character.
Uncle Donnie.
why is he Uncle Donnie?
Why is he wearing colonial George Washington clothes?
Yeah, why wasn't
we
he
don't
wearing
know.
pilgrim clothes? Why wasn't it pilgrim clothes? Lean into it, guys.
When you wear a wig, you're important.
Yeah. Okay. So, yeah, at this point, we're introduced to the fact that, like, his wife didn't tell him that...
Oh, right. A Thankskilling commercial comes on the news. Not a commercial, but the news is on, and it's talking about Thankskilling 2 and how every copy was destroyed. And this is the first time Turkey's heard about this news. Needless to say, he's pissed off, and the wife...
How would he not have heard about it, by
I know,
the way?
right? The wife knew about the DVDs being burned which he was furious about, and as a result, he sliced her in half with his wing.
Like blade wings?
Yes, his wing
It
turned...
just happened. Like, I didn't know what happened. Her head just gets sliced vertically. And
It's really implied, because, like, then it's like a POV of the wing, like, to the child's neck, and then you're like, oh, I guess he has, like, wings like Archangel.
Hell yeah, that's fucking tight. And with Nilbog's like, Daddy, I can be evil like you.
He's like,
let
the
me go with
carrot
you."
cake was ferret cake.
And the entire scene changed. The outdoor setting, which was bright and sunny, was now suddenly completely pitch black with lightning the moment he attacked her.
I mean, you're questioning that?
I'm
in
not
this
questioning
movie?
it. I'm not questioning it.
No, it's art, man.
Of course.
It's a thematic choice.
So Turkey kills his wife, and then he asks Nibla if he will be evil with him. Of course, Nibla agrees because he doesn't want to be chopped in half. So they diddly dip on out of there.
Taxi?
Which I believe before the seagull taxi, they actually go to Yomi. Is Yomi the next thing?
In the dumpster with the trash bag monster.
Yeah,
right.
So we come back to that stupid yellow Muppet we saw earlier.
Probably the worst character in the movie for being the main character.
She's the main. This movie is unique in that the main character of the film could have not been in the film at all, and nothing would have changed.
Nope.
You're all.
You're so right.
The plot would have resolved exactly the same way. So she's in the trash and she's like, "I'm looking for my mind," which I guess was her ovaries all along, and I didn't know.
How did you not realize that, Walter?
I thought it was her weird. She's an alien. Her brain might have two.
Her brain has 2 arms. It connects to her ears so she can hear.
This puppet's bleeds. An alien. Anyway, so she decided to look in a dumpster for her mind, and she ends up finding the last surviving Thankskilling 2 DVD instead.
Because a trash bag puppet
because
gave
a
it to her.
talking trash bag vomited it out at her.
And it just hit her in the
hate
face.
This so much.
And this is the scene. So up until this point, as I said earlier, I was actually okay with the movie. Like, there was nothing wrong with the movie. In this scene, especially in the next animated sequence, I was just like, what the fuck is going on?
Meowmere with his friend
cat.
Clitoris Cliff.
What the fuck was the point of that scene?
There's no point.
It was just for comedy.
What was his name again? It was
Meowmere and Clitoris Cat.
Clitoris Cliff.
Clitoris Cliff, yeah.
All right.
I'm the bad one. I'm Clitoris Cliff.
Yeah.
For the listeners at home, just look up the cat scene from Thankskilling 3. So
it's on their official YouTube.
You have to see it to like. I could not describe it. It's so surreal and.
But it comes out of nowhere. Like, so
and
that
it doesn't go anywhere
cat
either.
cartoon is on Yomi. God, these names are going to get confusing
Her
for people, I
backpack.
feel like, too. Yeah, it's
Right.
on Yomi's backpack, and then out of nowhere just jumps off the backpack, becomes full screen, and a fully animated, like, intro to a cartoon that I guess that backpack is intellectual property for, and then is not anything else. Like, that was it. It was just like, hey, there's a interesting cutaway.
It makes one more appearance, but other than that, it's totally useless.
I feel like the writers,
it was just for laughs, for dirty laughs. That's it.
They were just so horny to like be like, we're gonna have an animated section. It's gonna be so stylistic.
I feel like they had to like stretch it out to make a certain time limit because we have the video game scene, and then we also have like the trippy drug mind control scenes. But then we've also like
hit some bullet points that they promised in the Kickstarter.
Yeah. But then they also like. Every scene with Yomi feels like she's taking way too long to talk.
Yes.
And she's just looking around and then blinking and then slowly says a line.
I feel
and then like every scene is just like so drawn out.
I feel that that's kind of how it was with pretty much all the interactions with the puppets. Like in the last movie, the actors were not good, but you could definitely tell they had chemistry with each other.
Yeah.
Like,
for sure.
You could tell these people like were definitely very natural around each other, but with the puppets, like seeing them interact with each other or the humans interact with the puppets, there was always like a weird pause in between like somebody saying something and getting a response, to the point that it felt like everybody was just on fucking heroin.
Yeah. This movie could have been a full 30 minutes shorter if they like were on top of their shit. But
yeah, I think it comes down to the editor, honestly,
Yeah.
because like the pauses that you're saying, I mean, they can be taken out with editing.
Oh, for sure.
You know, so like I think you edit like, I don't know how many. Let me look up how many editors were on this, because like it feels like it's like certain sequences, like the opening sequence and the credit sequence and all that stuff, or anytime they did a dream thing, I'm like, okay, this editor knows what he's doing. He's like very music video kind of oriented, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then exactly what you're saying, I'm just like, nope, you're not wrong on that though as well. Somebody piss poorly edited every piece of dialogue, and to the point where it stopped becoming funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because comedy, it like requires timing to be good.
Yeah, and there was whole scenes, like the whole scene with the guy with the butter knife spear, and like that felt like it went on for 10, 15 minutes.
Ages.
Oh my gosh.
The long pole.
We'll get to that. We'll get to
Long
that.
pike.
Long pike, baby. All right, so she's in the trash can. She gets the DVD. Stupid animated sequence. It ends. She is looking for her mind. You get the exposition that she lost her mind. She's asking around for it. And that's when you are introduced to the character of Uncle Donnie.
3 different editors.
3 different editors.
Nice.
There you go. You were introduced to the character of Uncle Donnie, who comes cruising out of this building into the alleyway. And Yomi sees him from the dumpster and asks Uncle Donnie if he has seen her mind. At which point you're just like, what the hell is even going on? So this guy is like, no,
really bad Muppet Show sketch.
Right. I haven't seen your mind, and I think this is the first time you've seen a human interact with a puppet. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
at this point in the movie, there hasn't even been a human up until this point. The whole movie was a puppet show.
Uncle Donnie was on TV, but that's it.
Oh yeah,
and we did have boobies.
Boobies at but that's Thankskilling 2.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, Thankskilling 3 has been all puppets up until this point in the film.
And almost is.
Yeah, the whole time.
Because literally, there's like 2 humans in this film, and then one gets killed off within 10 minutes.
Yes.
And so it's one dude and a whole bunch
that guy's cutaways were probably some of the funnier parts, too.
Agreed.
Like, come on. Come on.
Oh, it's you, Yomi. Fuck you.
What was his name again? Muff? Come to heaven, Muff.
Yeah. I love that.
I just love... What was his name again? Muff?
Yeah, he looks off screen asking. So I don't even know how to describe this scene. She's just asking him if he's seen her mind.
Yeah.
He obviously has no idea what the hell she's talking about. Somehow Thanksgiving comes up.
Yeah.
I don't even remember how.
She was looking for Thanksgiving because she got the Thanksgilling 2 DVD.
Are you sure? I thought he brought it up and she didn't know what it was.
She says, "I'm looking for Thanksgiving," and he introduces her to Thanksgiving Land
at his house.
Their life's work was
by some stupid interaction.
How the hell does Thanksgiving Land work?
Hey, what are you
it's
talking
a theme
about?
Park.
It's a theme park.
Yeah.
There's the gravy lake, the mashed potato Ferris wheel,
the Pluckmaster 3000.
Yeah.
Okay, but I mean, in like actual like business practices, like how the hell is this gonna work? I mean,
I could make it work.
You're picking that out of the entire movie,
right.
The business practice of an imaginary theme park.
We gotta talk about the economics of Thanksgiving themed parks.
Yes, because one, it's an American holiday only, so like tourism is gonna be very low.
Actually, with an American-themed holiday that they can visit year-round, people will be like, now we can figure out about this holiday without having to be there on this holiday. So it is technically could potentially be a smart business model, but it could also backfire because then you lose your American audience.
Fact of the matter, Jonathan, is that
you want excuses, I'll give you excuses.
You have no idea what you're talking about. Thanksgiving Land is an excellent idea, and me, Walter, and Jared are going to be opening it next year.
Yeah.
Oh, the turkey. God, I'm so excited for Thanksgiving.
People are just sleepy before like they even get on their second ride.
Hey,
all
I'm
right.
fine with
Just
that.
want to unbuckle
Nap
my pants
chambers.
and watch the football game.
So we flash over. Well, Uncle Donnie's basically like, "Come with me to my Thanksgiving house," I guess. And then we flash over to Grandma and
Who sounds like
other guy.
Right, so it goes over to Uncle Donnie's house, but they are not there yet when
Yeah.
you go over to the house. You are introduced to the guy who is Uncle Donnie's friend, who I do not know the name of.
Long Pike. Just call him.
We'll call him Long Pike.
Sheriff
and
Long Pike.
his grandmother, who I know Jonathan
Jefferson.
doesn't like. However,
Jefferson.
It is Jefferson.
Jefferson, yes.
Yeah.
Jefferson's grandmother is a puppet in this movie instead of a real character, And this is probably me and Walter's favorite character in the movie, we would say.
I just wish her mouth went in.
All right.
I hate that you can see her.
I love
Oh, no,
it.
I love
Oh
it.
my god,
I love everything
it.
about this puppet's design.
I love the way it looks, and I love the way she is. I cannot get enough
Nauseating.
of it.
Except at
Lois.
one point, one of the characters calls
Lois.
her. What does he call Lois? He like something with Down syndrome, and I was like, "Well, that
I
would make
remember that.
sense."
Yeah.
I was like, "There, oh.
So
she does have weird eyes."
So Jefferson is the co-founder of Thanksgiving Land. He dresses much like Uncle Donnie in old American clothing with a wig on, and then his grandmother Flois is a ancient, over 100-year-old rapper in a wheelchair who has a boombox on the back of her wheelchair.
She gets sex daily.
And she gets sex from her multiple boyfriends.
You know what?
I love her. Look,
knowing the two of you, I absolutely understand why.
Yeah.
Yeah, look, the best part about this movie, I think, is really the visuals. I love the visuals. I love Muff's design.
I loved the
Lois's
music.
design.
I liked the music too.
I
was
love
like,
the
let's
weird, trippy
dance.
music. I love the lighting and like.
The lighting where they were like, "We got 5 American DJ bar lights. Where do we use them?"
Flois is such a beautifully disgusting puppet.
Yeah.
You have to see her to believe her. She is truly fucking grotesque.
This is the only reason
And
I would
love
recommend
it.
the movie.
Yeah,
like that's it.
The visuals in this movie are actually really captivating because you could tell the people who made this really love puppets.
Yeah.
I
And
just feel like they didn't have a script.
The thing is, I honestly feel like the movie would have been better if there weren't humans in it. If it was a puppet-only movie.
Yeah.
Because I don't have a problem with puppet movies. It's fine. But they should have just stuck with it. But they couldn't have stuck with it because the first one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Meet the Feebles is a great movie.
Right.
That's a puppet show.
See, that's something. One of the reviews online was like, "This tried to be Meet the Feebles, but it sucked." And I was like, "I've never seen it, so I can't really judge."
Yeah, when I saw Flois, the first thing I thought was, "Oh man, she looks straight out of Meet the Feebles." Like,
Can I interject and just announce to anybody listening to the podcast right now that this entire movie is available for free on YouTube?
Yes.
It is where I watched it, and you can watch the entire thing on there. So you can go check it out there. However, so we open up in the scene. Jefferson is arguing with his grandmother about all of the guys she is sleeping with and how Jefferson is a mistake, Thanksgiving Land is a waste of time, and him and his dumb friend Donnie are wasting their lives away.
Well, somebody gets it.
Yeah, she's not wrong. So you spend a lot of time sitting there watching these two argue before Uncle Donnie and Yomi finally show up in the house. And
going on about his long pike.
So Jefferson's going on about how his long pike is coming in the mail, which is like a long spear that American colonialists use.
Sure.
Or
but
whatever.
currently it's a butter knife taped to a broom handle.
he has a broom handle with a butter knife on it. So Yomi and Uncle Donnie walk in.
I'm like, I don't get where these jokes are going or if they're even landing.
I think the long pike is all for the payoff of the light switch.
Yeah, I love that.
Because I actually kind of thought this movie was better than the first one.
And so when
I hate all of you so
once
much.
Yomi and Uncle Donnie show up in the house, the rest of the movie takes place 99% in this house.
Yes.
Yeah.
They go outside for like 30 minutes, but that's about
Not
it.
even.
Yeah.
Well, they go in the oven at the end, but it's still in the house technically.
Yeah.
Yeah, even when they go
Turkey
into
hell.
another dimension, technically still through the house.
Turkey hell.
Yeah.
So this is whenever I was like, okay, the movie's gonna start moving here finally, because it does it picks up for a good few seconds.
Right?
Yeah. Well, okay.
Hang on,
so
we skipped
Flash, Turkey and
Turkey and Nibla on the Seagull taxi. I'm sorry we skipped a crucial part of the movie. So Turkey and Nibla go looking for the last copy of Thankskilling 2. They're flying on a Seagull taxi, which Turkey hates because he cannot fly. Eventually, he gets pissed off. He kicks Nibla off of the Seagull taxi, and he splats into pudding on the ground.
It's more like weirdly cooked beef.
Yeah,
it's a really
with the
surreal
beak
effect.
sticking out of it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like the turkey falls down and then just kind of disintegrates instantly.
So you know that kind of
Raw beef.
You guys go to IKEA?
Ground
Right.
You ever
Yeah.
had that like
Yeah.
kind of cranberry
Yeah.
like, sauce that they put next to the meatballs?
Ugh.
It is like that consistency and look.
Glad I've never
disintegrates.
eaten it.
But
Yeah.
this
It's a lingonberry sauce.
this smashed baby turkey is
that's
still
what it's called.
speaking.
Yeah.
By some miracle of God, when his father shows up and does nothing to
spreads
make
them on toast.
He does black magic to send
and
his soul
sends
into the
his soul
DVD.
to find the. Why didn't you just do that at first? I don't know.
Right.
Clearly, you didn't care about your son if he lived or died, so I don't know why you didn't just do that at first if you could. What's up?
Oh, I realized I was too early because I was going to say this is where I start to get confused though, because the soul does go to the
this
DVD.
is where?
Yeah, immediately.
Yeah, because I could follow this. But so then they're all at the house. They like explain to Yomi about what the Thanksgiving land is. And then there's he's trying to turn on a light switch with his long pipe. And he's like, if this was just 3 inches longer.
At least 45 seconds of film time. Just trying. And
It felt like an hour.
It was so good.
And he could have just walked over there. I mean, it was like 5 feet away, but he spent the entire time trying to get the light. I don't even remember what the purpose of turning the lights off was for.
Well, it was to turn on the Thanksgiving land sign.
Right. Okay, yeah.
So then there's like a knock at the door or a delivery.
Yes. And Jefferson thinks it's his long pike coming to the door. And you get this long sequence of Jefferson in some sort of heaven setting.
Pike.
Yes.
You're beautiful. I'm so glad you're here.
And I knew what was coming the first time I saw it. I'm sure everyone else did.
It's a
No brainer.
hallucination, like in the first movie where the guy swallows the cartoon turkey.
And
then there's this weird jump cut where, like, the long pike was really turkey dressed up in colonial, like, powdered wig, like, attire. And the dude just disintegrates. Like, he's dismembered.
He is
cut into
That's where it
chunks.
says just got fucked,
And
right?
I love this. Yeah, he is cut up into pieces. And the first reaction of his best friend, who has never seen somebody die before as far as we know, is, "You bastard!" And that's it. When he sees his best friend cut into pieces.
Where have I heard that before?
I know, right?
It's just such a surreal jump because, like, you see the long pike and then you see this guy's,
It's, like,
organ
immediately
pile.
done.
Yeah, it was really weird. I'm like, wait.
So stupid. So
We
good.
got actual slasher kills in the first movie that had a much lower budget. I don't know why they couldn't have, like,
there's no, like,
shown him get
kills,
impaled.
really.
I also hate, a side note, that there's no memorable one-liners in this movie. Maybe a few, but not, I can probably name 5 or 6 in the first movie.
Chainsaw dick, maybe?
Butter churning.
What was the game the rats play? Cheese butt?
Oh, yeah. It was...
Captain Pilot's my favorite line.
Captain Pilot, yeah.
Yeah, there's a serious lack of good puns and, like,
But so...
quotes.
Oh, sorry. I was
go
like,
ahead.
yeah, great.
So Turkey is at the house, and Nibla is now in Yomi's backpack because the DVD was in Yomi's backpack, and via black magic, Nibla is now the DVD with his head sticking out of the DVD.
Who's now a real puppet and not just a static turkey toy.
Yeah.
Right? Well, because the DVD's cover is an image of turkey.
Holding up a 2.
Right. And so I guess he basically took the image of that and it just became more of a 3D puppet.
I liked when the DVD opened the backpack from the inside.
Well, like, why didn't Yomi just give Turkey the DVD?
Yeah, what was the exact negative outcome of Turkey actually getting the DVD?
They don't explain this until later in the movie.
Right,
but
he explains
like the
twice.
DVD. Yeah.
he put a curse on the DVD.
That's right, yeah.
So that anybody who watches it, then he can kill. Right?
Yeah, and he was going to stream it to the whole world so he could kill everyone.
Right.
Well, that was a bit too late of exposition because I watched the whole movie being like, just give him the DVD.
That was at that point I probably tuned out and didn't care anymore.
Oh, man. I mean, there was a talking worm. Like, what the fuck am I doing trying to figure out what this movie wants to do at that point? Like...
And here's the issue. I honestly don't really know what happens. Turkey is there, and then somehow they get away. And
they
I don't
put him in the Pluckmaster.
I thought that was a little
No,
later.
that's later.
That's later,
So
yeah.
in this one,
See,
they
this is where it gets because it's all in the same house.
Exactly.
And shit just
They
happens.
just they
Let me
all
see if I
run
can-
out of they all just run out of the house.
They just dip?
They run into
Oh,
Wise Turkey.
This is when they run into the woods and see Wise Turkey, yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
But I
Yeah.
don't get how they get away from Turkey. Do they just run away? That's it?
Muff isn't there. Muff and
No, Muff isn't there. Rhonda's not there.
There's a
yeah.
roach. I have written that there's a roach with a rotating accent that goes kind of from Master Splinter to also kind of Jamaican.
Yeah,
the roach
he-
is just sometimes there.
He laid eggs in the gravy or something.
Oh, his chips.
Chips, yeah. It was irrelevant. Was that a puppet? Did you count that puppet?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Okay.
Yeah. Basically anything that like
I
had a
think
voice and they moved
They
around.
actually just ran out.
Yeah.
because they were like, yeah, and then they just left and ran with the DVD.
Yeah, because in order here, I wrote Butterguard, who is Jefferson. I go, the Butterguard died, and Grandma and Yomi and Uncle Donnie meet Giblets in the woods.
Okay, so that makes sense. For anyone listening, you have to see the movie to understand the fact that it jumps from nothing to nothing, so it's hard to actually keep track of what's going on.
It is really hard to keep track of these
There's
scenes.
a point where the grandma offers Yomi her mixtape called Sprinkle for That Wrinkle. She smells her fingers a lot, and Jefferson hates it. Regardless, after Jefferson dies, Turkey shows up. Somehow,
Also, Jefferson to me looks like a knockoff Nick Swardson.
I don't know Nick Swardson.
He looks like a pile of limbs.
Maybe a little.
It's okay. Sorry.
So they dip on out of the house with the DVD with no at this point they don't know that the DVD's cursed, so they just run away with it for no real reason into the woods where they're walking, and Flois is making a rap for her now dead son who she appeared to hate. And she goes off on Uncle Donnie for being a coward or something. I don't know. It doesn't matter. And that is when one of my other favorite characters in the movie, Wise Turkey, shows
I
up.
love
Wise Turkey.
With the he's got a beard on his beak.
Wise Turkey is such a good quality puppet. If you told me that was from like a Jim Henson movie, I would believe you.
It looks like a Skeksis from Dark Crystal.
It looks good. Like this
A
is
sexy?
literally
a Skeksis.
Sexy.
Oh my god.
He is sexy.
But yeah, I mean, you can tell.
That's what they do.
The creators of this movie really love puppets, maybe a little too much, but
you think?
But they made some good puppets, and this was one of the best.
I'm surprised they didn't do like puppet boobies anywhere.
The Wise, yeah.
I'm surprised there's no other boobies in this movie.
Right. Well, he gives us some exposition about the history of the turkeys.
Also, how he's babysitting.
Oh yeah, he actually does go into the Native American kind of lore from the first movie.
Yeah.
This is like one of the only ties,
right?
Like to having some sort of like wraparound of being like, this is where Turkey, the character, came
there
from.
were other turkeys like Turkey who had just accepted their fate and died, and Turkey became evil and vengeful.
Because Turkey was a wise turkey once. Yeah.
Sure.
That's what Wise Turkey said.
That's why he has magic powers and stuff, I guess.
Yeah.
So,
hey, at least they explain it, man.
But then Wise Turkey is on like sacred turkey grounds, and if he leaves, he'll turn into a pile of ash.
Is that what he said? I don't know.
Yeah, he said he couldn't like leave the grounds because then he would just like age rapidly
cemetery.
and die. I guess I don't know.
I don't.
And then they're like, he gives Yomi a wishbone.
Yes.
And
I
he
forgot about the wishbone. This movie sucks.
And then he gives
he says the wishbone's the one thing Turkey doesn't have.
it'll guide you in the right direction.
Yeah.
The wishbone's like a heart. It's like the heart. I get it.
Yeah.
It's your wishes. It's what it's like the compass that Jack Sparrow has.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. And then he tells Uncle Donnie like protect her at all costs.
For no real fucking reason.
She could have died.
And she does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And comes back to life.
So then they end up going back to the house.
I don't know
And
why.
there's like a mind trip, like the turkey's controlling him or something.
So the turkey uses some evil magic to like do a little like weird trippy acid thing, but it doesn't work on Yomi because she has no mind, and the mind control can't affect her.
But she still is
deeper
like.
than I thought
But
about
I thought she lost her.
That's literally what they say in it.
Yeah.
They're like, you don't have a mind; it can't control you. And she's like, "Oh right, I'm just dancing."
God, there were so many times where I was just like, I think there was many times where I just actually out loud was like, what the fuck is happening? And then would probably tune out and like miss things like that.
This scene was really surreal, but really good on its own because I love the music.
Oh, it looked good too.
And visually, it was so cool. And I loved the music, that weird, like, super trippy.
Is this when they went into
music.
3D glasses?
A little bit, I think.
Or was it a different part? Because there was one where it legit went into blue,
that was during
red, blue.
the, like, skeleton turkey scene.
Right.
That's later. Yeah, there's a couple of these scenes in that movie.
Or is that in 5 minutes? We don't know. It's
So,
all a jumble.
Did Yomi lose her mind, or did she lose her ovaries? Because she says she loses her mind, but there's never actually any sign that she lost her mind.
Yeah, she's just talking normally and acting
normally. She
normally.
acts normal, and her mind is her ovaries, but then Turkey can't control her because she doesn't have a mind. But who the hell knows? I have no idea.
Oh, they're saying that like women think from their ovaries.
I guess.
That doesn't even make sense. It's not even a saying.
No, it's not.
Like men think with their dicks is a saying. Like
Right.
it would have made sense if it was a guy, but it didn't even make sense.
Well, they don't have any sayings, like you said like 5 minutes ago. This movie has no catchphrases,
No taglines.
no taglines, no effort other
Help
than
me,
putting
I've lost
into the
my
actual
mind.
creation of puppets.
Yeah.
That's where all the effort is.
Right.
So then this is when we also get added in Rhonda and Muff.
Yes,
They
they
show
finally
up to
show
the
up to the
house.
house. We missed an entire scene with like Nerdworm, but it didn't matter.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Oh, where he's talking about like Mandy Moore's next album.
Yeah,
Why did I laugh so hard?
this has no bearing on the plot at all.
Muff loves Mandy Moore.
Right, Muff loves Mandy Moore because Rhonda called Nerdworm a worm from space who is also as horny as Rhonda is, and Nerdworm could tell Rhonda exactly where the last copy of Thankskilling 2 is. However, then they go into a 5-minute conversation about how when Nerdworm made Muff, he put in the what CD was it? We just said it. Who
It was
the
Mandy
artist?
Moore. Yeah.
Mandy Moore. He
I
put
thought
in
you were
the-
asking for an album title, and I was like,
Oh, the
I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I thought too.
Yeah.
And the joke wasn't really funny or anything, and then is never referenced again.
Yeah.
So, for the audience, Rhonda is a alien worm that rides on the shoulder of a really cool, the Cthulhu robot we mentioned earlier in the first scene.
With a mustache and a very
The worm
South
has the mustache.
Park-esque like voice.
Yeah.
And the worm actually is just on a stick. Like it's
Yeah.
on a stick
Yeah.
that I guess has like a pullable string so that the mouth can
Right.
move.
It,
like
it
very
barely
tiny
qualifies as a puppet.
Yeah.
mouth. Yep.
So, anyways, they show up to the house because Nerdworm told them where the DVD is, I guess. And, yeah, they show up to the house, and that's about it.
They show up and Yomi has just been disemboweled by Turkey during that trippy scene.
Yeah.
There's a chainsaw.
No,
No,
the
not
chainsaw
yet.
comes later.
Yeah,
Then
yeah,
what
that
does
is-
she get disemboweled with?
I don't know, his wing. He just rips her. He just
It doesn't. It
pulls out her
yeah.
stuffing. And
I swore he had a chainsaw penis by now.
No, it's about to happen.
That's
Yeah.
after the Pluckmaster 3000.
Yeah.
Okay. God
Yeah.
damn it.
Because they show up, and then they do turn on the Pluckmaster 3000, and they throw Turkey in, and he gets launched outside. And then we get a full 20 minutes of a butthole being open, and it's like, throw the DVD in. Why is everyone waiting?
Oh, yeah. For the
that
record,
scene took so long.
we missed the very important, crucial exposition on Uncle Donnie and his family
Oh, yeah.
with the Pluckmaster 3000. Because I believe when he designed the Pluckmaster 3000, the original design to baste and cook a turkey without having to do anything, it plucked the turkey, basted the turkey, did everything, right? It killed his family, right? The whole family. He turned it on and it just killed everyone.
So
Why didn't
he
we see
sent
that scene as
he
a
sent
flashback, though?
his wife
sounds
and
cool.
son out to get
Oh!
a 50-gallon drum of
Yes.
stuffing,
That was it.
and they
Why was
they were killed by wolves.
Why?
His grief made him shut down the
Why
Pluckmaster.
were they
He
killed
even-
by the Pluckmaster?
He even says like, but I also didn't know that wolves love stuffing.
And it has nothing to do with shutting down the Pluckmaster other than they went out to get gravy for it. It's like, why didn't
It's
the
like cause and
Pluckmaster...
effect.
Yeah.
Why didn't the Pluckmaster kill the family and then you'd be like, oh, okay, I get why you won't use it. The Pluckmaster didn't do anything. Wolves ate his fucking family.
It's just a fucking deep fryer. It's like,
Did
my
you in-
family's dead. I can't cook turkeys anymore.
Did you include the Pluckmaster as a puppet?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Yeah,
I was
because
like,
it has
it's
the
technically-
movable
It
grate
moves,
because
yeah.
it talks too. Yep.
So they turn it
definitely
back
did.
on. The Pluckmaster's like, "Why have you had me off?" And yep. And then they throw Turkey through it, and Turkey gets shot outside.
And then there's
all
a butthole.
Yeah. So Rhonda says that there's a way to. The only way to destroy the DVD is to shoot it into space to destroy it, but they just burned the rest of them. So that's a fucking lie.
Think of that?
I was like, wait.
I didn't think of that. That's funny as fuck.
So then they have to open up the butthole, but first he's got to wiggle his tail in Muff's butthole to loosen.
Turning.
He just stares at Donnie and is like, butter churning. And it's like,
Get it?
Because the vortex we did not mention is inside of the anus of Muff.
Yeah, he's got to loosen the sphincter.
Right where it belongs, yeah.
Right?
Oh, I hated this.
And it's got like a
I hated
keypad.
this so much.
This like robot sex slave shoots a vortex into space when they type in the passcode 999 pound sign.
I didn't know that.
And then they stand around it for several minutes.
Yeah,
Like a long time.
Nothing happens. This is probably the worst crime of drawing out the movie here.
The vortex is just shooting out of this robot's ass for like a fucking hour. And I'm like, why can't they just throw the DVD in? It's on screen for a fucking while.
But like somehow Yomi's connected with the DVD because of the little bird in it.
Oh yeah, they didn't want to kill the kid or something.
Yeah. I don't get it.
Yeah, and he starts screaming like, "Oh my god, he just killed my dad in the Plugmaster!"
Yeah.
Yeah, and they realize that the Nibla. Yeah, Nibla is trapped in the DVD. They never say that's the reason they won't throw it in. They just kind of
they just don't.
Why the fuck do they care?
Yeah, literally, it seems like all turkeys related to turkey probably are not going to be good for you.
And it's a fucking turkey. You eat them anyway.
It's also a DVD.
Yeah.
So
that's the best point. Yeah.
So a DVD that's like in a PlayStation case.
Yeah.
Those cheap DVDs that you bought at like EB Games because you were like, whatever, it's the cheap version of the DVD, but it just got switched out and like a printed out like thing put on the inside sleeve. Did you guys ever do that?
Yeah.
Buy a used DVD?
Exactly
really disappointed.
I like how you...
I was like, I'm not alone, right?
I like how you
too,
referenced EB Games, though.
Yeah, exactly.
Games.
Not
Deep
GameStop.
cut. Deep cut.
Fuck GameStop. EB Games is where it's at. But
Anyways.
Electronic boutique. That's going to take off, guys.
Like a Sam
That's
Goody.
really going to take
Do
off.
Sam Goody still exist?
Oh, Sam Goody?
I
No.
think they closed down in 2000.
FYE does.
I think.
There's one in
Oh,
Fullerton.
for your entertainment.
Yeah. Huh?
I was doing ASMR into the mic.
Oh.
Okay, so yeah, we go back.
Turkey
Turkey
is-
shows up and he's
yeah.
with some like undead turkeys.
Well, he goes outside and he's like, he's shot outside.
Is this where he's like, rebuild me?
he's been
Yeah.
plucked and roasted
Yes.
by the Pluckmaster.
And he calls upon his dead brethren to build him.
Yeah.
Some like skeleton puppets come.
And there's like,
Skeleton
it's a
turkey.
musical sequence, right?
Yes, there is
Yeah.
because it
So
reminds me of
this-
Thriller.
This is the part when for some reason I thought there was a penis on
And Thriller
screen,
was
but
horrible.
it turns out it was just Turkey's face. It's very penis shaped.
Which part?
Like a
my
flaccid.
God.
There was like some sort of red thing over it, and I was like, whoa, why is there a penis? Because
The
then they say we
ugliest
couldn't
dick.
give you a penis back. But yeah, it looks like a really ugly
Oh,
flaccid,
yeah.
like, because the beak just has that like
Yeah.
head shape.
Yeah, so they can get every part of his body back except for his
Yeah.
penis, which was lost in the Pluckmaster.
This is the chainsaw.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
they do like this Evil Dead 2 chainsaw sequence where they, you know what I'm talking about?
Well,
That-
because
Yeah.
he even
Yeah.
says groovy.
he says
I-
gravy.
Gravy. Yeah,
gravy.
I actually don't hate that joke. to be
Me either.
honest.
Yeah.
I loved it when I
Pretty
was
clever.
there. I was like with my girlfriend rewatching this movie, and I was like, "We've got to watch Evil Dead 2 now."
Yeah.
We got
Please turn this off
Yeah.
gravy
and put on anything else.
put on an actual good movie.
I know there's not that much original stuff in this movie, but a chainsaw dick, I will give it to them. I didn't think I'd ever see that on screen.
I mean, it just, and I think because I was actually watching this with a friend this morning.
I'm
and,
sorry.
Yeah, I know.
Put someone else through this.
Poor friend.
I know, right? Well, they had just had to sit in the back of the truck. I was at work, and I was like, "Sorry, this is gonna get weird." Like,
Clearly.
just by the trailer, I was like, "This is gonna get really weird." I apologize now, but the thing that we just kept harping on was like this sense of like immaturity that this film goes along. That like. Instead of like, because I'm all for immaturity, like dick and fart jokes,
I
like
love
stuff
dick
like
jokes,
right.
yeah.
But this never hits a level of intelligence enough
Yeah.
to be something where you're like, I'll take that stupid joke.
Yeah, like as a lover of dick jokes, if
Fair.
a dick joke doesn't land, I'm like, "Oh, come on, it was so easy. It
Yeah.
was such a cheap shot, and you missed. Like,
Yeah.
come on."
Yeah, right. But yeah, so going through this whole thing for me, I was just like every single one that fell flat or was just like, well, here's a chainsaw penis. At that point, I would have appreciated it, but everything before it had made me null and completely like emotionless to like feeling good about like gravy, right? I was like, that would have been great, and I do love it, and I appreciate it out of context. But in context, I'm fucking hating it.
If they
right
had
now.
some momentum, you know, where like you were endeared to the movie, you'd be like, oh yeah, gravy, that's fucking great. Keep it up, movie.
Yeah,
You know,
like the first one. I
Yeah.
loved the first one.
With the first one, when they brought up the dumb shit, I was already so in love with the movie that they could have done anything. Like the scene where the turkey is wearing the sheriff's face.
I
And
fucking love that
The best
scene.
That is my favorite scene in the movie because it
Oh,
is
the
so
awkward coffee
absurd.
moment.
Daddy,
Yeah.
you look different. Got a haircut.
I'm not gonna lie, this is pretty awkward, Sheriff. And he's like,
Did you just say fuck? How old are you? 517 years old.
See, it's quotable, it's memorable, like
Here we are talking about Thankskilling 3, and we can't help but go back to Thankskilling 1.
because
Yeah.
it actually
that movie is incredible.
Yeah.
it's unique.
No,
It's very unique. They because I watched there was like a interview from their hometown for the actual premiere that they did theatrically
Yeah.
for Thankskilling 1, and what the director said was just like, you know what? Every other holiday had been tackled in the slasher genre. We wanted to do something creative and unique, and like do a parody of slasher films at the same time as give a Thanksgiving theme. And I was like, okay, I'm down, because like the reason why we're sitting here and we're talking about this horrible movie today is that like we are very scarce on the Thanksgiving realm that I can actually pick from. There's only 2 other movies. There's Blood Rage and there's Mutilator, aka Fall Break.
Don't forget Planes, Trains, and Automobile.
Yeah, you're like, that's a horrible movie.
It's a family movie, and that's why I hate it. Every year, my parents are like, "Let's watch it," and I'm like, "I can go sit in the other room and do a puzzle."
Is there an Easter slasher?
There's Spring Break stuff.
Yeah, there's
But
a serious lack of like actual like
Where
straight up
is
Easter.
the Easter Bunny slaughtering people who paint eggs? That's
I
what
feel
I want.
like it got lost in what this should have been. Like
Yeah.
they should have just moved
That-
from Thanksgiving and just been like, oh, Easter Bunny.
They should have directed a different holiday movie
The
and
lo-
not done a
with
sequel.
rabbit puppets
Yeah.
that could kill.
The Lobo
Way better.
paramilitary special is a Easter murder movie.
Really? Wow.
Yes.
Who would have known?
Okay.
Watch it.
Anyways, back to the actual movie.
So Turkey's
we're
got
out
a
of-
chainsaw dick.
If you guys have
Yeah.
any suggestions for 4th of July, we're clean out. In one 4th of July, we've already wiped out our 4th of July.
I was gonna suggest a movie. I'm like, where did I hear about that? Oh wait, on Bombs Away.
Yeah, Uncle Sam's done.
Uncle
We got
Sam.
nothing else.
I was about to suggest that movie, and I'm like, wait a minute, I learned about that movie from this.
We'll
very
just do
podcast.
Sandlot 2. I'm sure it has a 4th of July sequence.
So chainsaw dick.
Back to the point of a
He
chainsaw.
immediately, he goes back into the house, immediately kills grandma, which I thought there was going to be like some deep throating a chainsaw because she's talked about like how slutty she is. And I thought like for a bit she was going to be able to take it, but then she's just dead.
Yeah.
And then this is whenever,
Saddest part of the movie.
right? This is when we also start getting like the death portions of her grandson being like, hey, come on. God's been waiting.
And like you
Come
said
on.
earlier, these are some of the best parts of the
Yeah.
movie.
Oh, I love it. It's kind of like a little callback to Billy from the first movie.
Yeah,
Where it's
Yeah.
like,
for sure.
Come on, Billy.
And that only happens once in the first one, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they have it 3 times, but I like all of them in this one.
Yeah, I know, I love it. Where like it starts out with Grandma Flores and they keep it up. That's great because this joke doesn't take too long when they do it. Where it's like he's just on screen for like 5 seconds and they move on and he comes back and you're like, oh my god, this dude's back. Like that's fucking hilarious.
So
Jefferson.
then what happens in this? The worm gets attacked and he dies.
Yeah.
He gets cut.
No,
and
No,
then-
not
that's
before
not-
they go into either the portal or the hell.
Yeah,
They go
that's
into
what
hell
they're-
first. They
They're
go into hell first.
underground because it's like this is the first time that I don't like being underground.
No,
it's a
because-
worm.
Oh
That's weird.
yeah.
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 Well, so then
We have trippy scene number 2. Where,
Yes, okay.
where we get another weird acid trip sequence.
Is this
like
where the
mind
fight
control
sequence
scene,
with like
where
Turkey
where
and
the
his
skeletons,
minions?
yeah.
Muff is like shooting his like Samus arm cannon, his like Mega Man cannon at the
I
skeleton
love that.
turkeys.
Sorry. Muff is great.
Muff
And
is amazing.
Turkey is killing people with his chainsaw penis, and And
this is where he chops up.
Yeah,
Yomi.
and they're
Right?
Yomi already got chopped up, but we kind of glazed
Who
over that.
the
Well, this is when her
knows?
hand gets chopped off, I thought.
Okay, no, this is where she
No,
actually dies because he has
you
to
got
stick his hand up
unstuffed.
her ass.
That was the
Yeah.
last
to bring
acid
her
trip
alive.
scene, but we kind of skipped over that for some reason. I was gonna bring it up.
No, I thought that was in this one because she's got her
Really?
arm cut
That's
off, and
why
then
I-
he sticks his hand up
and
her.
that's what made me think of Chainsaw because like the fluffing,
Okay.
the stuffing of the
Oh
puppet
yeah,
is
that's
going
right, that's right,
everywhere.
yeah. So he kills Grandma and Yomi in
Yes.
this scene. That's right. So they defeat the skeleton turkeys with like baseball bats and Mega Man cannons. And
But
then
I don't know where Turkey goes in this moment.
He goes in the oven to hell.
Turkey. Yeah,
He gets the DVD and
Is
goes
it the
to
oven
hell.
or the Pluckmaster?
No, we already got the
oven.
Pluckmaster because they recreated him. They
Yeah.
rebuilt
Yeah.
him, and that's where he got Chainsaw Dick. So
yeah.
that's where we are.
So Turkey kills
Well,
Grandma.
Because the oven's like
permanently.
far against a wall.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then Rhonda the Worm explains that Yomi is an alien and that puppets are based off of aliens.
Guys,
of her
if you're still
race.
listening out there, I'm sorry.
You can
Just watch the movie and you'll understand the fact that we have no fucking idea what goes on in this
Yeah,
movie.
and apparently you can bring them to life by shoving your hand up their ass.
But it's
real
all. This
puppet.
is kind of meta in this moment because they're like, it's just a fucking puppet. Put your hand in its ass.
Yeah.
Like they're like, that's how puppets work.
But he's like grossed out as if he's gonna stick his hand.
It was
in
weirdly
a bloody dead
sexual
body.
because she comes
It wa-
back
yeah.
and she's like,
Ugh.
Again,
It's terrible.
this is probably one of the only jokes I didn't mind. I don't know. I liked the fourth wall breaking. It was just me.
yeah. So Yomi comes back to life with the magic of anal fisting, and
It can do wonders.
so they have to chase Turkey back to hell, right? At this point,
Turkey hell,
Yeah.
Walter.
Turkey hell. I'm sorry.
And only Yomi and Rhonda can fit into the gateway, so they go in and they talk to some rats.
An asshole portal.
And there's
Don't
yeah.
forget. If you guys are still on board, it's
Oh.
an asshole portal.
An important plot point that we completely skipped.
Oops.
Turkey
We're
claims
just
that
trying
he
to get
has
through it.
Yomi's mind. Yomi
yeah.
couldn't
Oh,
fight
yeah.
back against Turkey earlier because he said, "Yomi, I have your mind." I don't know where he got it, but apparently
He didn't know who the fuck she was before that.
Turkey has obtained Yomi's mind somehow, and has, I guess, taken it with him to Turkey Hell.
Guys, this movie fucking sucks.
The whole subplot about Yomi losing her mind makes no sense. Like you could have eliminated that completely, and the movie would have been so much better.
You said it at the beginning. The character doesn't even need to exist.
Yeah.
Just have Uncle Donnie and them in the house and have
Yeah.
Turkey.
Yeah.
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 Okay, whatever. They go to Turkey Hell.
Yeah.
Rhonda and Yomi.
Yeah, you can just speed through it.
There's
It's
some
fine.
rats. They finally find Turkey.
There's
down
some rats who sniff each other's asses. They don't matter. Moving on.
Who cares? They find Turkey. Go. I'm done. I don't care.
Well, Turkey's projecting the DVD out everywhere and is killing
Yeah.
some random people, which I was like, neat.
Yeah. So
kind
Turkey.
of a cool concept. I mean,
Yeah.
Kind of a Halloween 3 concept.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But hey, it's not a bad plot point. Like it's
Yeah.
fine.
At this point, Turkey's like he kind of reminds
They're
him
stealing
like,
from
oh yeah.
other bad movies.
By the way, remember I cursed the DVD, which is a plot point we haven't really talked about at all, even though it should be the main conflict of this film.
But I also cursed my own son.
I guess.
But,
yeah, so they don't talk about the cursed DVD at all. They talk about like Yomi losing her mind over and over, even though I feel like
I
the
don't
biggest
care about this character.
the stakes are on the fact that the DVD is cursed, but they don't talk about it. And like at this point in the movie, I had completely forgotten that the DVD was cursed. I was like, oh yeah, that's right. There's a curse.
Well, I'm watching this movie and I don't even know what's going on anymore. Like I don't even know why they're doing what they're doing.
yeah, so like Turkey's broadcasting it out to like kill people, and Yomi and Rhonda find him finally, right?
Yeah. They rip the DVD out and then they go back to Earth, we'll call it.
Thanksgiving Land
I
trailer.
think first he reveals. I might be off on the timeline because this movie makes no fucking sense. But before they go, I think didn't he reveal that he created Franken-Turkey, or is that later?
Oh no, you're.
It's in the
It's
sequence,
in
yeah.
this. It's
Yeah.
this whole underground thing, and
Franken Turkey.
We're abruptly introduced
that
to this
wants to
character.
be.
Here's the
what's
thing.
his name? He wants Breath or
Brent. Brent. Is it Brent?
I don't know, because basically it's because he does puns on like, Barth.
Barth.
Because he wants
yeah.
to be like, he's like, yeah, like Barth Mall. And I'm like,
Yes!
what the hell? What the...
Franken-Turkey is the character that they thought was going to streamline this movie. They thought Franken-Turkey was going to blow the fuck up, but he is so stupid.
Yeah. It's just like a giant meatball with a turkey head and weird, creepy arms.
Yeah.
That's about it. So they run out of hell, and then...
Do they have the DVD at this point?
Yeah.
Yeah, they grab the DVD in hell. They go back to whatever the hell you want to call Earth, I guess.
And then Giblet shows up, even though I thought he couldn't leave the ancient burial ground.
Who the fuck is Giblet?
The wise
old
turkey.
Wise turkey.
Yeah. Oh, my bad.
He's like, surprise.
I can go, turtles.
The high
I made the funny.
But before that, the worm dies.
Yes, because during the turkey,
Franken-Turkey,
this is where Franken-Turkey bites Rhonda the worm in half.
Yes.
And then he bleeds out on the floor back on Earth.
And I was like, oh no, a character died. I'm so sad.
Nope.
And then
I don't even think I included it on the stats at this point.
So Muff gets upset and Muff commits suicide.
Blows his fucking head off with his own arm.
I love that scene.
Me
He
and
points
Walter
the Mega
were
Man
watching
cannon
this together
at this.
at the end. I showed up at his house during the last 20 minutes, and we were watching this, and we were cracking up when he just blows his head off. Like
he's like, well, he see. I love this scene because like he grabs Rhonda, whose like lower half is missing and is spilling gore, and the robot looks like it's confused about death, and it like rubs the gore all over its chest and cries for like an hour.
You know what's actually interesting about Muff is that there is no facial animation, but I felt emotion in this emotionless creature.
I felt more emotion from Muff the robot than I did from any character.
Absolutely, yeah.
And
agree.
yeah, then
From all the characters
he just fucking
combined.
shoots himself with his Mega Man gun. And
I'll take that.
I love Muff. I fucking love that character. It's great.
Moral of the story is Muff is the only good part of this movie.
Muff is great. I fucking love him. Everything that Muff is in is made better by
So
Muff.
Muff blows his brains out, and then we're taken
That's
into
true.
the last different sequence, video game 1993 style.
What
was
is
so
even
weird.
happening at this point?
I think that was so.
It was also super quick because it was like, what's gonna happen? Then it was like, hatchet,
nothing
cut in half,
happened.
dead.
In the first movie, we had that one animated sequence of the Native American necromancer, and I guess people,
I remember that,
and people liked that, and I think that the creators were like, oh, they want more weird animated jumps. So first they had this stupid cat cartoon,
No, we don't.
and now they were like, wouldn't it be funny if we made this like an early '90s like Super Nintendo game? And
if like there was some sort of thing that would have called back to it, but
Yeah.
no, there wasn't.
so Frank.
What if they went into an arcade machine? Like
Yeah.
if there was anything?
Well, no,
if
well,
there
like-
was just an SNES sitting on the floor.
Yeah, anything.
Franken-Turkey had taken over the spell that Turkey was using to broadcast the DVD everywhere, and he used it to turn them into a 1993 Super Nintendo game.
If maybe on each DVD there was also like you could put it in your Xbox and and like play
I
a
don't know.
8-bit version of something. Just something
Anything.
that would have.
It was so
just
weird, and I
went into it.
I could tell the creators were like jerking themselves off during the scene, like, "Oh God, we're so creative, we're so avant-garde, we're gonna make a 16-bit video game sequence. It's gonna be great." But it was.
I think you have more high hopes for their high hopes than they did.
And
I don't think they ever have used the word avant-garde.
do you see anything happen in this video game sequence? I don't think you do.
You just like
they're just
he
dead.
grabs an axe and
Yeah.
then he just like cuts him.
Yeah, it's basically
super quick.
So Giblets and Turkey go into the video game, and then they do that kind of like in a 8-bit video game where there's like a cutscene before you'll actually
Wait,
play
it was
action-wise.
Giblets? I thought it was Franken-Turkey.
It was
it
Wise
was-
Turkey and Turkey.
I am an idiot. Oh my God.
So like, and then like just like those kind of sequences where there'll be like dialogue at the bottom, like Turkey will like slide in from like the out of the frame and they'll say whatever he has to
They
say
didn't do a
and
bad
slide
job
out.
of representing it.
Yeah,
Right.
because
Yeah.
like I couldn't tell who it was in the game. I didn't even realize it was Giblets because Giblets looked just like Franken-Turkey in the digital version.
Okay,
of
yeah.
them.
The only way I knew is because like we had already been done with Franken-Turkey
Yeah.
and Giblets like didn't come back after the sequence.
I was confused.
Because
I was like,
he
wait a minute.
decapitates it.
Yeah, I was like, Franken-Turkey's gone and Giblets can't leave the burial ground, so who's this turkey? Why did Franken-Turkey betray him? Oh, it was Giblets all along. I didn't even know.
Yeah.
It didn't look like him at all. So
Yeah.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
Walter, we watched this less than 6 hours ago, and I don't know what the fuck happens. I do not know how they beat Turkey. I don't know.
So they're trying to activate his butthole, Muff's butthole, but Muff's
he's
dead.
But they're going. They're still fucking with him.
But then Rhonda comes back to life and is like,
Rhonda
"Oh yeah,
just
I
comes
can
back to
fix
life
him."
and be like, "That's a cool trick when I do that."
Rhonda,
I'm like, what?
Rhonda says it earlier, like makes or alludes to like having their tail cut off earlier and coming back to life.
It's a fine joke because she's a worm and worms can live if they're cut in half.
Was it she?
He.
And we forgot to mention Rhonda has apparently had a sexual past with Turkey on the set of Thanksgiving too.
What the fuck? I don't even know.
Rhonda pretended to be a girl,
damn it.
and then Turkey fucked Rhonda in the butt, and Rhonda's actually gay.
Or bisexual because he fantasized about fucking Yomi.
Oh
too.
yeah, that's true.
A bisexual space
And
worm.
then
Rhonda's just a horny fuck.
How does Turkey
Did
die?
it also reveal that Yomi is from space?
How does Turkey die?
They launched Turkey into the vortex.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
They open up. They
Well,
open up the
yeah.
vortex, and they're like, "We're gonna destroy the DVD." And they end up pushing Turkey out, and he was killed by his son. Where Nibla or
Nibla, you're right.
Yeah. Nibla comes up to his dad and says, "I don't want to be evil like you." And he lets go of his father. He gets sucked up and torn apart by the vortex. Sure. Then they launch the DVD in, and
well, Yomi's holding the DVD, and Yomi's like, "I guess I should die too."
Yeah, well, like then
and throws herself in.
Well, no, she throws herself in because she's holding on, and then her mind comes back and starts talking to her, and she was like, "Ooh, I'm your mind. I was here all along.
Ovaries.
Follow me into the vortex."
That's right.
And she agrees.
Now, I guess here's the reason this could be: Turkey claims to have the mind, and Turkey went into the vortex.
That's deeper meaning than I think the writers
All right,
knew
yeah,
of.
fuck it.
Because it makes sense to me, which...
Well, yeah, because it just floats down and says, "Oh,
Yeah.
come with me." And she's like, "Oh, well, I just came here for my mind. I don't care about anything else.
All right.
Jeez.
Well, fuck
Please
this
let
movie.
me go into the vortex."
Yeah.
The vortex disappears, and they both die, I guess.
Yeah, Yomi gets destroyed. They have like a musical death scene, a little requiem for Yomi, and
Which I don't care about.
yeah,
and then the teaser at the end, they show off Thanksgiving land.
Yeah, Rhonda rebuilds Muff, and
it combines
Uncle Donnie
with
finishes.
Turkey Master or Cook Master or
Pluck
whatever.
Master 3000, yeah.
And then Uncle Donnie finishes Thanksgiving Land.
And they all
And
live happily ever
We
after.
get just kidding, gobble gobble motherfuckers again.
And I
And
will
we're done.
not. I will not be seeing.
And we're checking out.
I think we're all as over this podcast as we were with the movie at the end of it.
I mean, why wasn't
Everyone's
this...
leaning back in a chair, like, just don't sleep.
Here's
just
the thing.
don't sleep.
We just finished this podcast, and a year ago, I was sitting here all hyped up, like, I fucking love this movie. I'm ready to talk about it. And here, halfway through, I was leaning back in my chair, like, fuck.
I was like, I've got some great leftovers at home.
Welcome to
exciting.
the hard episodes for us.
Yeah.
Like welcome to Son of Mask for us.
Oh, was that?
It was super hard. That one was hard to like. It wasn't hard to joke about it, and like plot wise, you could get through it, but it was just miserable to watch and miserable to.
Yeah,
like,
that movie's garbage.
Yeah,
but at least the plot is an actual plot.
Yeah.
This is one of the few movies where if somebody asked me to explain the plot, I would say no.
All right, quickest plot synopsis I could possibly give. A yellow puppet loses her mind, tries to find it at Thanksgiving. However, a killer turkey is trying to intercept that Thanksgiving and kill everyone by cursing them with a DVD.
Yeah, that about is it.
That's all I got. I got nothing else.
I would skip the part about her losing her mind. I'd be like,
oh yeah, that's not even fucking relevant.
I'd be
So
like,
why the hell is that even
There's
there?
a cursed DVD that a puppet finds. An evil turkey wants to find the cursed DVD, and they have to battle to prevent him from getting
Guys,
it.
don't watch this fucking
Can
movie.
we not recap it again?
It's just
we watched it.
We're done.
But you're
We're
also
done.
like missing the whole
We
worm
don't want
and bounty
to.
hunter thing. I don't know why they exist
They weren't
either.
relevant to the plot.
Why don't they exist?
Yeah, it's like the
We've
worm
talked
doesn't
about it so
matter.
much.
The puppet doesn't matter. Yomi doesn't matter. Ronda
Why
doesn't
was
matter.
this
The
just
robot doesn't
not
matter.
a sequel slasher?
I know. That's what I really thought was like the scene where Jefferson gets killed by Turkey. I was like, there it is. It's going to be a slasher. It's going to be great. I can't wait to see Turkey stabbing people and choking people and doing all the shit he did in the first movie.
Oh, you still thought there was hope at the Jefferson scene?
Yeah,
As soon as I
well,
saw Yomi and in a trash bag monster, I was like, we're fucked.
I was ready for a puppet slasher. That would have been great. I would have been so into it.
I just don't understand why this movie just wasn't a sequel slasher
Right.
that was just more meta and being like, yeah, this really sucks, but at least we got a bigger budget to do this next scene, you know, and then just go for it. Just slash more people, kill more people. Like, I don't understand why so many puppets and how you could actually get $112,000 and not have any more human actors on board.
Yeah.
And actually have more death. Like, how could you be so unfaithful to the original thing that people funded for you?
Right. Yeah, that's kind of true.
I feel like it's a kind of betrayal to
This
the
was
fans.
crowdsourced, you know?
Yeah.
And so, like, I feel like they saw the first, like, low-budget, fun, self-aware slasher, and were like, we want more. And they were like,
Exactly.
here's this weird puppet show with 5 different plot lines, and none of them converge. You know?
I'd be pissed,
Yeah.
honestly. Like, if I did a donation, like, of a high amount, and it
Yeah.
was like, you know, they, like, give you executive producer credit and something, I'd be like, take my name off, guys. Like, this is not faithful to what I believed in that you guys
Right.
would do in a sequel follow-up.
Moral of the story. Watch Thankskilling 1.
Yes.
Do not watch this movie.
Yeah.
Thankskilling is a classic. I adore that film. I show it to everybody I can. It's beautiful. It's absurd and beautiful. Because, like, I feel
would
like...
take a shot on screening Thankskilling 1 here.
Yeah.
I would love... Are you kidding?
Yeah.
That would
Yeah,
be amazing.
it's November,
It would be a
man.
midnight movie, you know, for sure, like cult classics.
I'm
like,
going to shadowcast that.
Okay.
We can. There's like 5 human
Honestly, I don't
characters.
Fuck? Oh,
No,
we can, yeah.
Well, yeah, 5 human characters and a puppet. We could totally shadow cast. Well, plus the 2 parents. Yeah, that's enough for a shadow cast.
So I
8
think we
characters.
don't even have to ask. Nobody here is recommending it, right?
No.
No.
All right.
No.
And then you're familiar with the new rating system,
Yes.
Jaws,
The
right?
Jaws system,
right?
yes.
We have a new rating system where basically I think you can understand from Jaws 1 to Jaws 4. Where,
Okay, makes sense.
Yeah. If there was a Jaws 5 and it was worse than 4, that's where I'd put this.
Fair. I support that claim.
If we're following the ranking, I'll just Jaws 4.
Jaws
So-
4.
yeah.
I am of the controversial opinion that Jaws 3 is worse than Jaws 4.
That's right.
disgust
That's
me.
right.
And I'm giving this a Jaws 3.
All right. I love how it's arbitrary on the rating system and everybody has their
I
own.
know.
Like, I love. This was just a random thing when I bought those 4 Jaws VHS at a store one day where I was like, I only need Jaws 3 and 4 because I
Have you-
only collect bad movies.
Yeah.
You done Jaws 4?
I haven't done either one yet.
Oh.
I'm thinking, like, what sucks is that, like, Deep Blue Sea is in its 20th anniversary this year, and I think that's what I need to do during the month of Jaws week for a live show. But Jaws 4 is up there.
I can appreciate
Just won't
Jaws
be as
4 the way that I appreciate Thankskilling 1 because Jaws 4 is just absurd, you know, like the shark chasing the airplane. That kind of stuff is funny to me, like the turkey wearing the man's face is, you
I'm
know.
going to give you a fat no on that one.
Whereas Jaws 3 was just garbage.
Right.
So this is a Jaws 3 times 3. I fucking hated it. As a fan of bad movies,
Sure.
fuck this.
Fuck this. Okay, so as the host of the new show here, I do the gimme 5s normally. So do you want to read the
Oh my
5-star
god,
reviews?
let me see some 5s. I can't believe they actually exist.
Okay.
I don't think I want to host this show anymore after this.
Don't forget, read who wrote it, and then the title, and then go for it.
I think 1 might have been a 5 and 1 might have been a 1.
Oh, okay. That's
'Cause
another
they're-
thing. If we don't find any like people who like praised it 5-star reviews, we'll just go to somebody who just dug the shit out of it, like
Okay.
in a bad way, like just digging into it. So you have one of each for today.
So this is a 5-star rating. Jesus Christ. The title of this positive rating is "Fuck Loud Music. This should be played in Guantanamo."
Might be a 1-star.
This is a 5-star, right? Guantanamo
might be the one.
I think he wanted it to be. Oh wait, here we go. All right, so I think this is the 1-star. So it says, utter garbage is an understatement. Sets a new standard for tastelessness. Ugly, unfunny puppet nightmare. The only possible argument for it is that it's made from the ground up to be a bad, nonsensical movie. But that doesn't change the fact that it is one. I have never felt so ashamed watching a film. You've never seen anything like it, so I guess it's technically original. But it's so tasteless and awful, I'd rather take a lifetime of superhero and jump scare fest films than go through this monstrosity again. Nothing but crudeness for the sake of being crude. Ugly, disgusting, dumb, unfunny, tasteless, garbage. Kill me. 0 out of 10.
I'd like to buy this man a drink.
Yeah.
I know. Can we invite him on the podcast?
Yeah. Free ticket to any Frida Cinema show for that guy.
Right? He summed up what we just could not.
So that's
we spent 2 hours talking about this shit. He just did it all in literally less than a minute.
That's our 1-star review or 0-star review, and our 5-star review is different but still a lot of fun. Oh, you're so charitable. From Mary 302. All right, so Thankskilling 3.
There's Mr. 305 worldwide.
The 302nd Mary. All right.
Yeah, I tried so many combinations.
She says,
Mary 1, Mary 2, Mary 3, Mary 4.
Thankskilling 3 is very different from the first movie, but I still found it incredibly enjoyable and very funny.
The funniest thing we've done today. I'm sorry.
It's completely ridiculous and comes across as a feature-length Wonder Chosen.
There it is.
Oh, there it is.
But there's an undeniable charm that makes it a lot of fun. Don't expect a lot of killing in this one, as it's about spoofing fantasy films like Dark Crystal and Labyrinth than it is a slasher spoof like the original. The puppeteering is actually quite good in places, and the synth soundtrack is one of the film's highlights. This is going to be a movie you either absolutely love or absolutely hate, but I commend the filmmakers for doing something completely different and off the wall. If you're into weird stuff and keep an open mind, I highly recommend this.
My number is 315.
Yeah. And Mary 315 says that this is a fantasy spoof and not a slasher spoof, and that's why you didn't like it. You didn't read it right.
Mary, everyone is entitled to their own very incorrect opinion. And listen, we read your review and we all hear you out, but you're wrong.
This, as a lover of bad movies, I hate this movie. And a lover of like weird creativity, like I unironically enjoyed Tim and Eric. Like the fact
there's some good sketches.
If I can like Tim and Eric and not this,
it's just I think you got guys who overzealously want to be filmmakers, but really, I mean, they should work with other people's scripts.
Yeah,
like, do not write your own script. You're not funny.
If these dudes were making puppets for literally anything, I would be delighted. I would love it, you know?
Sure, like...
If they just gave up on script writing and just...
This played out like a bad episode of Crank Yankers to me.
Oh, yeah.
Let's talk about something that really matters real quick.
Sure.
I want to hear an actual mixtape from Flois. I want to hear that mixtape in real life. Sprinkle for that wrinkle. I want to hear the actual mixtape in real life.
I would listen to it.
I would buy it.
Rest in peace, Flois.
Yeah.
You did nothing wrong.
Speaking of mixtape, gentlemen, you have something that you do as a team, and you have a third, and we have not talked about it. I want to make sure that people are aware of your projects going on.
Thanks. So the reason we find Flois so funny is because me, Walter, and our third comrade are in a rap musician group called CGB. C is in Corey, G is in Grant, B is in Boomer. You can find us on Spotify, iTunes, Google Play, whatever you want. Go listen to it. Whatever you're thinking, whatever you have ever heard in your life, it's worse, more insulting, and will probably make you want to kill yourself more than that. So go check it out.
Those music videos are a lot of fun.
Our music is as bad as this movie. No, let's see. Our songs are Thankskilling 1.
Our songs are Thankskilling 1. Yeah, that's a great way to describe it, actually.
Your songs, if added to this film and somehow tied into the plot, actually would have made it better. Like, it definitely would have made it better.
They could have fit into this movie, I think. Yeah.
It's something so unique, and I want to try it so that people, I want to sell it for you guys. I want, other than to be just go and listen to it. I would love to give some sort of analogy, but I think the best compliment I can give you is that, I can't. I think it's genuinely
you
unique.
have to see it.
In literally what you're willing to spit out of your mouth.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Well, our music, it's surreal, it's self-aware, it's fast-paced, high energy, very, very strange, very fun, very crude and disgusting.
It's definitely shock-worthy.
Yeah.
And we're working on our second album right now, so look out for that.
Awesome.
It's our second album, Party in the Trash, coming out January.
Yeah, something like that.
It's literally one of the first scenes in this movie.
Yeah, it's relatable. That was a relatable scene.
I know. I love the talking garbage bag. I was like, I want that puppet in our music video for Party in the Trash.
You could do it.
Thankskilling
it was just a garbage bag.
Puppet makers, hit us up. We want to pay you to make a music video for us.
Yeah, probably one of the only people to listen. They'll probably listen, and if they got this far.
All right, folks.
Gentlemen, yeah, absolutely. Did you tell where people can find you, like social media and stuff like that? Did I miss that?
Yeah, CGBOC on
CGB_OC on all social media.
SoundCloud, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube.
Also, please follow
iTunes.
Chaos, Rocky Horror at the Frida Cinema. I know Jonathan promotes it a lot, but if you haven't heard it, go check it out. KAOS, Rocky at the Frida Cinema.
Absolutely. That's every second Friday of the month here at the Frida Cinema. If you are a fan of Rocky Horror, or if you're a virgin to Rocky Horror and you've never seen it before, I would say 60% of our audience every month, right?
Yeah, we have a lot of virgins.
Yeah, we have so many new people, so don't be afraid to come out and try something absolutely new and fun and unique that you're not going to find anywhere else in Orange County, at least. So
that's right.
If you are in the Southern California area and you want to see a really talented group of shadowcasters doing a extremely iconic cult movie, come out and see us. You will not be disappointed. It's a blast for everybody involved. Now doing bachelorette parties.
Ooh.
Wait, did we really?
No.
The last one had one. I thought it was cool.
I would love to do that.
They chose
it would be cool,
out of everything else they could have chosen.
That was fun,
Really? Oh, I missed that show.
Yeah, you weren't here.
9 girls.
I would have loved. Well, I don't like girls, so
that's right. Yep, so that just about does it for us. Ladies and gentlemen, speaking for Bombs Away's sake, you have 1 week left until Mac and Me. If you're listening to this on the day it came out, it's November 30th. You have 1 week left. We have some special, amazing surprises just announced. Actual Mac tonight. The Mac and Me character from the 80s that would play the piano, the big
Mac
moon.
Tonight's in that
Mac
movie?
Tonight.
I'm sold.
He's not in the movie. But because the movie revolves so much around McDonald's product placement, we actually got a guy who used to be Mac Tonight.
You're fucking kidding me.
Not kidding.
Oh my god.
He used to be Mac Tonight, used to be Ronald McDonald, and he's showing up.
Oh my god, I'm fucking fangirling. No, this isn't me like hyping up the show, which I'm already going to, by the way. But okay, look, I grew up next door to one of the last
to the moon.
McDonald's. I grew up next door to one of the last McDonald's to get rid of the Mac Tonight animatronic.
Oh yeah,
they didn't get rid of that motherfucker until 2011 at that place, and that was like a late 80s, early 90s ad campaign.
Oh, I would have petitioned to just keep it.
When they got rid of it, it hurt my soul. But I love that.
Did it still work all the way till
Moon
they got
Man?
rid
Yeah,
of
and
it?
he would sing and do sing the little. Yeah, I loved it.
So this is an official, can't mention his name or anything, but this is an official man who actually played Mac Tonight.
Is he gonna wear the Mac Tonight mask
and pose for pictures?
I'm gonna fucking bust a nut. Holy shit!
You guys should see Walter's face right now.
No, it is genuinely. This is real. Here,
my
just for your own
girlfriend did
excitement.
not know what Mac Tonight was until last week, and she was like, "That's amazing."
he sent me the actual picture.
Fuck! It's moving!
Woo! You are.
It's the moon from the McDonald's commercials.
He's not being facetious. What's actually interesting, like he's not just trying to hype us up.
No,
here, guys.
this is not me being over the top. I'm freaking out. He was my fucking hero in the 90s when I was a kid. I was like, it's the moon from McDonald's. Fuck.
If this hasn't sold you on the show, then I don't know what the hell will.
Yes, please.
I am losing my goddamn shit.
Absolutely.
Oh,
dude,
fuck.
Bring your friends. bring other Mac Tonight enthusiasts. I guess
I talk about Mac Tonight.
This is gonna be the one. This is going to be
more.
a one-time opportunity. Like, you're not going to... nobody else is going to screen this piece of shit movie ever again. You're going to get Mac Tonight. Anybody who pre-orders the movie tickets prior to day of will get a full-on Happy Meal with a Mac and Me themed Happy Meal box, fully custom printed and designed.
Oh my fucking god!
And a actual cheeseburger, fries, and a gift inside.
John, you son of a bitch! You've outdone yourself.
I really kind of have. I'm not making any money on this at this point. But it's for the fans. It's really it's a love letter to the fact of. I really am sorry that you guys are going to have to sit through Mac and Me.
If I can see the creepy fucking moon from the old McDonald's commercials,
super worth it, right? Yes. So everything's themed out McDonald's and Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola, rum and Coke slushies. Like, we've really gone all out. So please join us if you're in the Southern California area. And if you're not, reach out to us at Bombs Away Show. On all social media, or you can reach out, contact at bombsawayshow.com if you're like, hey, I got a venue that would be great for you guys. I want you to come to our town. We can do that. You just got to let us know and help us raise some funds for it, and we'll be there. So that's all for us. I'd like to thank our guests today, Jarrett and Jonathan.
I was like, I'm Jonathan? What? We're switching.
No, you thank us. You're the host now.
Right.
That's right.
Thank you for coming on my show.
Thank you.
I'm going to
I'll clean up when I'm done.
bodies.
Sorry.
All right. Yeah, it's been a pleasure.
Absolutely.
Being your guest host. I'd love to be back again.
Pick the movie, sir.
I'd love to. You know what? This is one that I'd actually want to save for a live show because it's so disgusting. But I really want to do Galaxy of Terror with you guys. It is.
I gotta watch it. I have no idea what this is. You keep throwing it at me, and I still gotta watch it.
Truly surreal, truly vile. It offends even me. You have to see it.
Okay.
So, I'd love to do that one for like a live one.
Sure.
But yeah, it's been an absolute blast with you guys.
Well, Corey's the one that got us into this mess at this point. So
I know, right?
do you
You're
have
welcome.
anything that you want to do after this? Like, you got anything that you're like passionately be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna hit him with this one.
Have you ever considered doing like 2.5 hour long pornos?
I mean,
I've considered it, but
There it is.
I don't have the stamina.
Oh my god. Like those ones with an hour and a half story. You could totally review that.
interesting.
Be good.
I have considered Stallone's Italian Stallion.
Oh
Like, actually,
my god,
yeah.
that's
Yep.
a real thing. Yeah, he
Yeah,
did porn before
right?
he was on Hollywood.
Either
Actor.
that or like the iconic like Deep Throat.
Isn't that remarkable?
Ooh, A Night in Paris.
Is that even a storyline?
I don't know, but I don't care.
All right.
Deep Throat has a story which I find fascinating, and I'd love to review it.
Sure, right? Or Debbie Does Dallas. Like one of those iconic, like, oh, it's a 70s porn
I
grindhouse
would
style.
love to review Deep Throat
That'd be
as
fun.
a legitimate movie.
That'd be Let's screen it. Let's see what happens.
Oh, you son of a bitch.
I mean, this used to be a porn theater, you know? So
Wait, you're fucking kidding. Are you
No,
serious?
I'm
The Frida was a porn
Shh,
theater.
no, shh. I'm not supposed to say things like that.
You're so fucking disgusting. All right.
Yeah, think about it. Like, this room probably people were in. And,
Yeah.
You know.
Whacking off.
Wow.
That just about does it for us, folks. Thank you for listening to another episode. Thank you to my guests, Walter and Corey, today.
If you tuned in through this entire mess of a fucking podcast for a mess of a fucking movie, I appreciate you
Yeah.
like nobody else.
Well, I'll say this. If you tuned in for this and stuck through it the whole way, like, and you're in the Southern California area, we better see you in a week, honestly.
better see you
Because
guys at
you are a
Mackinac.
super fan at this point.
The McDonald's fucking creepy moon is going to be
Cut
there.
this podcast off before Walter goes on again.
Yeah.
think he's already creamed like 3 times.
The moon.
Thanks for joining us, folks.
All
Who are you?
Yeah, Walter Thornburgh.
Corey Casler.
Jared Seibert.
I'm Jonathan, and
No last name.
nope.
Fuck.
Gobble gobble, motherfucker.
This has been a production of Big Bulb Entertainment, executive produced by Jonathan Young. For more media and information, visit us at www.bigbulbentertainment.com. Big Bulb, what's your bright idea?